WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online, 24 hours a day.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is Dea Welsh with Community Action. Dea, good to see you again. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for coming out and talking with us. Good to have you in once again. And a new program through Community Action called the Homeless Prevention Grant. Tell me about this grant a little bit.
Okay. Yep. It's a grant through IDHS, and it is meant to help people who are experiencing a temporary hardship, either prevent them from ending up being homeless or help them get housed again.
Okay. So how does this program work? Who qualifies? What does it look like? Walk us through some of the basics.
Okay. Actually, this is a unique grant in the sense that there is no income eligibility, so that it doesn't matter what you are currently making. But you do have to show that you had some sort of temporary economic setback. So that can be a variety of things, loss of employment, but it has to be not your fault. Like, especially like at fall, like if you've been working harvest or working in the fields or doing something related to agriculture and that job just ends, that's not your fault. Medical, a natural disaster, a change in family status. So if you had a divorce or somebody died, that can all, impact that
loss of income there.
Yes.
That way.
So you have to be able to prove that. And then also you have to be able to prove that you are able to take over the payments of your housing payments going forward.
Okay.
So those are the two big criteria. Also, you can't have received these funds in the previous 2 years. So we will ask about that.
Okay. Well, if this is a new program, how would someone have received these dollars?
If you had moved in from out of the area, this is the first time we are providing these funds and have this grant.
Got it.
But it is not new to the state. So if you moved in from another service area and you had received them before,
makes sense.
You might have received those funds.
That makes sense. Sure. If someone is listening to this, Dea, and they think, gosh, I don't know if I qualify for this, can they still apply? And what does that look like?
Of course. I would encourage them to call into our main office. And I'll just give the number, 217-732-2159, and tell them that you're interested in the homeless prevention grant, or just talk to them about what your situation is. And our intake worker can let you know if they think that it's worth making a referral for. They understand the parameters of that grant, but they also know our other funding, and maybe if you don't fit for this one, maybe you fit for one of our other programs.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you would get, if you do fit the parameters, you would get a referral down to our office, and then it would be just an interview, because we're going to ask, what is going on? What was your temporary setback? How are things going forward? And we're going to start that process, and then we'll work with you to figure out what kind of documentation can we accept that will prove those situations.
You mentioned it, and I feel like I sort of glossed over it a little bit, is the no income guidelines with this one. That makes it very interesting, I think. How about that piece of this?
Yeah, no, most of now Capsule we are primarily low income, trying to help low income individuals. But this grant is really unique, like you said, because there is no income eligibility, and it's really designed to help anybody with that temporary setback. So we think that it's amazing for our maybe middle income households. It really helps, anybody can have, if you had a fire and lost everything, if somebody dies, these are major life events that can really disrupt your financial stability. And the second that causes you to lose your home, the second you end up homeless, it just is a short, I don't know the right word.
Spiral.
I would say the spiral happens quickly, and it's very hard to dig it back out of that. So if we can help people in any income bracket prevent the slide by keeping them in their home, paying some of that back rent, them not having to be homeless,
Mhm.
like that can go a long way to keep people from ending up in the low income bracket.
That kind of that bridge that we sometimes find ourselves in, right? Financially. Sure.
A little bit of a safety net.
True. Yes. Very accurate. Yeah. Again, Dea Welsh is our guest this morning. She's with Community Action, talking about the new homeless prevention grant through Community Action. How much is available with this grant, Dea?
You can get up to 6 months of back rent. And so
Okay.
like that's kind of the amount. So like whatever your rent or mortgage was, they'll do a calculation, and doesn't mean you'll necessarily get all 6 months, because if you aren't that far behind, like we're
Mhm.
only going to cover what you're behind.
Mhm.
But we can also pay, like if you are homeless and you have a place, we can help pay that first month's deposit and that first month's rent and the deposit to get you into a place.
Okay.
And we're allowed to use that calculation about the 6 months. We can also do help with utilities. So if
Mhm.
you've either don't qualify for LIHEAP, because that would be the thing, right? Like a lot of middle income earners wouldn't qualify for LIHEAP services necessarily.
Mhm.
And that is preventing you from either moving into a place or that's gotten out of control
Mhm.
and you're getting shut off. We can help you there as well.
Totally. Let's walk through the application process. What does that look like? What kind of information do folks need to have at the ready when they either call or meet with a community action representative? I guess let's just kind of start at the beginning. Where does the application process begin, and walk us through it?
Okay. So yeah, you're going to call our front desk. Again, I'll just throw it out there, 217-732-2159. They're going to do a little bit of a questionnaire, and then you're going to get referred down to our department, personal and community development.
Mhm.
You're probably going to talk to Harley, our intake worker,
Mhm.
and he's going to ask you what's going on. And then we're going to walk through like, okay, what is that documentation? So let's say it was a loss of employment. We're going to need a letter from your previous employer or some sort of documentation that shows why you were let go.
Mhm.
Then we're going to need you to provide proof of income.
Mhm.
And then we're going to do a budget with you to make sure that it looks like you can pay going forward.
Okay.
And then we need your lease, or mortgage, your housing documentation that shows how much it costs
Mhm.
and how much you were behind.
Mhm.
Or if you're moving into a new place, what that lease looks like. What's the security deposit? We
Mhm.
need documentation of what those costs are.
Okay.
If it's utilities, we need your utility bill
Mhm.
or your water bill or whatever that bill is.
Mhm.
And then we will get documentation on where you're living, just to prove that whole 2-year eligibility
Okay.
thing going on.
Sure. You mentioned, I believe you mentioned this funding is only available until, did you say June 1?
Yes, June 30th.
June 30th.
So,
yeah. So can you only apply up until then, or like can you receive, because you mentioned like you can pay rent/mortgages like 6 months out. Does that mean you need to apply by June 30th to get this funding?
You need to probably apply before June 30th. June
Sure.
30th is when it is cut off, and we will
Okay.
no longer be able to write checks for that.
Okay.
But if we were paying forward, it doesn't, if you're in before then and get approved, we'd be able to pay it into
whatever.
July or August, but
Got it.
we can only pay 2 months forward. So
Okay. Are you paying in installments, or is it just like a lump sum up front?
this one's a lump sum.
Okay. Gotcha.
I would say we don't know. Obviously, we have to apply for the next round of funding.
Mhm.
If we were to get the next round of funding, if you don't use all of your, like, it's also not a one and done thing. So
Okay.
if you reach out, you have this temporary hardship, you can show going forward, and you only need 2 months of rent, and we pay your 2 months of rent, and then 3 months later something happens. You've lost your childcare. You've had another situation that has affected you, and you can still show that, okay, now you've got it worked back up. We can then go back and pay up until that 6 months. So it doesn't
Sure.
actually have to happen all at one time. You're eligible for like that full amount over the course of those 2 years.
Okay, makes sense. Very good. Are there any aspects of this program we haven't touched on you want to put out there this morning, Dea?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think, again, the big thing is there is no income eligibility requirement. You do have to prove the hardship. It is supposed to be, so if you've got to prove that you are imminent danger of eviction, imminent danger of foreclosure, same imminent danger of homelessness or currently homeless
Okay.
to
qualify.
qualify.
Sure. That's a big caveat there. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Very nice. Again, how do folks learn more about this program and just to, ask questions? Who do they call? Where do they direct those?
Again, to our main office, they, again, 217-732-2159. And if our front desk person can't answer your questions, they will refer you down to our department.
Okay.
And myself or Harley will be able to answer any questions about the program.
Very nice. Very good. Well, Dea, great stuff. We'll take a time out here and come back with some more. Again, Dea Welsh with Community Action is our guest in studio this morning. More to come with Dea on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton, talking about continuing to serve the community through new ownership.
Things came together and we reached an agreement to purchase. And as you mentioned, we closed August the 1st. So it's August the 1st. Miller Media Group is now Hart Media Group. Mm-hmm. And we're continuing to serve the people of Clinton and DeWitt County and Monticello and Bloomington and Decatur and everywhere, because we'll just keep connecting people as we've been doing.
The Hart Media Group looks forward to continuing to serve the community for years to come.
Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange, your mower and equipment service pros just south of Clinton. Click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
Spring brings brighter days and more time to enjoy them. Your home should too. At Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth, enjoy one-story living and walking paths right outside your door. Spend less time on upkeep and more time enjoying spring. To learn more, click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
ServPro Team McGuire is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of severe weather coverage across all WHOW platforms, AM, FM, and streaming online, as well as on WEZC, your easy choice for soft hits at 95.9 FM. Whether it's wind, rain, or even snow, you'll stay informed with severe weather updates around the clock. When severe weather strikes, we break in anytime to bring you the critical information you need to keep your family safe. Brought to you exclusively by ServPro Team McGuire, your local fire, storm, and water restoration experts. Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on how he works to save you money every day.
I watch the Decatur market very carefully. I stay under these, supposed low-price chains. I make sure I'm under them. So anybody that's rushing to Decatur or other towns to buy commodity items like flour and sugar and milk and eggs and things that matter are fooling themselves. We are cheaper or as cheap on all the items that matter, and I make sure of that.
And as Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guest in studio today is Dea Welsh with Community Action. Dea, let's review scholarship opportunities. Of course, this time of year, people hear scholarship and they think college scholarships, right, for those high school kids. But that's not necessarily the scholarships that Community Action is talking about. How about this?
That's true. And while we will take applications from high school students, we've really geared it more towards adults who are wanting to go back to school, and not just to college or universities, but we will also pay for trade schools. And we also have money for GEDs and self-sufficient high school equivalency.
Oh, no
classes.
kidding. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. That's great. So yeah, it sounds like if you've thought about maybe a career change, those kind of temporary jobs aren't your thing anymore and you want that skills training, maybe this sounds like a good opportunity.
Absolutely. The trade school, so you just have to be income. This one does have income eligibility rules. So that's 200% of poverty guidelines. Of course, call in. Those guidelines are out on the internet. They're published CSBG guidelines. You can look them up online, but otherwise just call in. We can help walk you through that if you're wondering if you're eligible or not. But there's an application. You reach out to us, again, call our front desk, and we can get you an application. And then there is a essay portion of that where you just write there's a couple of prompts that we give you options of which ones you want to choose. Otherwise, it's mostly just what you want to do, what school you're going to, and a little bit of demographic information, and that's most of the application.
Got it. Sure. Is this one of those grants where like there's a certain amount of funding available and kind of once it's gone, it's gone?
Absolutely. We've got $20,000 that we can spend in our scholarships, and each award can be up to $5,000. So again, if you're going to cosmetology school or going someplace, to a trade school that isn't that much, then we're only going to pay up to whatever the program costs are. But we can also help with books. If you're going into nursing, we can help with scrubs. We can help with some of those other costs as well.
Sure. And I don't know if this program necessarily gets this question a lot, but I'm sure a lot of people think about a career change, additional skills training, whatever the case may be, and they think, but I've got to find a way to supplement my income in that time. Does this program help in that way at all?
Not really. We can help with like other things that are going on, like your gas cards. If we can help, pay for your gas to and from where you're going. But we are trying to work more with WHOW.
What is that?
I know I should have had that ready on the ready. Workforce something Illinois. And I apologize for that. We'll try to get you that information. Acronyms, we throw them around like everybody knows them, and I'm so sorry. I should have been better prepared. But they have money to help people get back to school too.
Yeah.
And they, especially in the trades, they work with the businesses, and they have a whole host of programs that they are doing. And I do believe they can provide sometimes even more funding to help, like you said, with those costs, because if you're giving up, if you're not working, and how to make that work.
Yeah, sure.
So we're trying to bridge our two programs together a little bit more so we can provide maximum support for people who want to go into a new career and really move themselves forward.
Got it. And this is an opportunity. And like I said, when we started this, people hear scholarship and they think there's a deadline, because the funding is only available for so long. But this is really one of those things where if you're considering a change in scenery, change in direction, this is available year round. Speak to that side of it.
Absolutely. We didn't put a time limit on it because most of the trade schools don't necessarily, they start all the time. Like MTI, they've got programs starting throughout the year. So really our time limit is you need to apply with enough time that we can review your application and do all the processing and get the check to your school in time for you to be enrolled.
Sure.
That's really the timeline. So of course, don't wait till the last minute. You want to do it at least a month in advance, if not longer.
Okay.
Sometimes things do get busy depending on the time of year. So, as always, earlier is always better.
No question.
Also, the money, we only have the $20,000, and it is a first come, first serve basis. So once that money is spent, that money is spent.
Did you say this does have income guidelines?
It does.
Yes, the 200% of poverty. That's correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What does the application process look like?
We have a paper application. So you're going to reach out, and then we're either going to try and get that application to you, whether you come to an office, any of our CAP locations, and pick up at the application, or we can email them. We can utilize however we try to use all the technology we can to get it to you, and then you're going to fill that out. And if you need any help filling that out, myself or Harley are available to walk you through that if you have any questions. And then you're going to write the essay, and then you're going to submit that back to us. And we'll need proof of income. So you're going to have to provide for the whole household. So it's not just the individual applying. It is based on whole households.
Got it. Very good. So good opportunity there for sure. And again, how do folks learn about that? By the way, did I miss anything in that conversation you want to put out there for us, Dea?
I don't think so. It is across all our 6 counties. So that's Payette, DeWitt, Logan, Mason, Menard, and Fulton. So if you're in our service area, you're eligible to apply.
Very good. And again, how do they do that?
Call. I lost my number. 217-732-2159. We do have a website, capsule.org. info, and there is some directory on there, like the client kiosk. If you log in and make yourself a login on that, you can express interest and we'll get information on.
Okay.
But it's not the application.
Got it.
You're basically just saying, hey, I am interested in the scholarship, and then we will have to reach out to you to make that connection.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Dea, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. We had talked in the break. The homeless prevention grant that we talked about in the first segment is only available in there's one county that is excluded from this program. Highlight that for us before we let you go for the day.
Yes, unfortunately, we cannot provide that grant, that funding through us in Fulton County. There's another agency, and I don't know which one it is, and that's because probably too in the weeds. But this is through our COC. Which again, I should have had that on the ready. And I'm sure Liam will be upset with me that I can't just rattle it off. Continuum of care.
There you go.
Our Illinois Continuum of Care. And they're in a different continuum of care than the rest of our service area. So a weird sort of just, maps that don't, all the different groupings that didn't quite align. So again, it's available in Piatt County, DeWitt County, Logan County, Mason, Menard. Yes, Mason and Menard.
Yeah, I'm sure someone that makes a lot more money than us came up with all of that. So very nice. Dea, 1 minute with you. Did I miss anything today you want to put out there for us?
I don't think so. If anybody's experienced anything, Capsule's here to try our best to help you through it. So we've got a lot of programming. If you're ever just curious about what we do, reach out. We're happy to let you know what's going on and happy to try to help. And if we can't help, we will try our best to find somebody that can and get you referred to somebody that can help out.
Sure. One more time, if you don't mind, that phone number, that website for community action.
Our phone number is 217-732-2159, and our website is capsule.info.
Very good. Great job, Dea. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming out. Dea Welsh with Community Action is our guest in studio here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news comes your way next on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.